The Chicago Sky are fed up. They've had it. They are done with the Angel Reese diva drama. She is on her way out in Chicago. Angel Reese trade speculation soars after Chicago Sky announcement. All right, and maybe overstating it a little bit, but the reason I decided to talk about this is because it ties into another really interesting thing that the Chicago Sky have done that I'm trying to wrap my brain around. I'm really interested to see how it turns out with them, and of course, how it ultimately affects the Indiana Fever, because it's just not making a whole lot of sense. I don't know if these two go together, but it is. Yeah, I'm really curious what y'all think in the comments below. I'll give you the insight I can come up with, but it is puzzling to say the least. But so let's dig into this. What is this specifically about? I actually think the next thing I talk about connects to this more, even though I don't know, because this is kind of wild. But anyway, some Angel Reese fans are convinced this recent Chicago Sky announcement might be proof her time with the team is nearing its end. By the way, I will say this. I do think if the Chicago Sky were to trade Angel Reese, I don't think her value will be any higher than it is right now. I think we saw with the Olympic team that she's I don't think she has much more after this. And not to be mean, I'm just looking at what she does, and I think she's hit her developmental limit. I mean, unless she can get somebody that can get her to completely unlearn what she's learned, right? Like I watch Angel Reese now, and I watch her shot, and I watch the what she does with layups. Not just the missing, okay? That's the thing. We got to go back to the fundamentals of it. And she still looks incredibly awkward and uncoordinated and doesn't shoot it properly. Like you can look at some players and you'll see them shoot a layup or a close shot or even a jump shot and they miss and you're like, "Okay, but you know what? Fundamentally they are sound." So I can see them, a miss is it happens, but I can see them overall being a good shooter or being someone who makes a lot of layups because fundamentally they are sound in terms of what they do. Angel Reese is not. She never has been. You look at her, even when they go in, they don't look right, which is fine if they go in enough, which hers do not. So I don't know that you're going to see her and if she wants out of Chicago, which seems like it last year, it's been a contentious couple of seasons in Chicago. She spoke out against the team and management at the end of last season. Get something while you can. Get something while you can. I don't know that you're going to want to core her and give her a super max. But anyway, what this specifically is about, I keep saying the next thing because that's even more fascinating. But yeah, this is what it's talking about here, calling out the franchise last September. So, what has happened here? And we all know what a great game that was for Caitlin Clark. The Chicago Sky have released their schedule of, special nights. And as you can see, Chicago Sky Barbie Night Absence Sparks Trade Talk. Every WNBA team has a set of promotions that they do for select games. For Sky, these are called theme games, and they released their 2026 season theme game schedule on April 1st. April 1st. Yeah, I just that just connected. Uh, Over the past 2 seasons, they've had a Barbie game day, which was not actually specific to Angel Reese, but we know how she's kind of connected that to herself. No Barbie night. I hope this is a sign that Angel will finally be free from y'all. I'm so glad I didn't buy season tickets again this year. Y'all really don't know WTF you're doing. Now, it's interesting. Because we hear this a lot as an insult to Caitlin Clark fans about how we're Caitlin Clark fans and we're not Indiana Fever fans and we don't like the Indiana Fever and we don't support them. And if Caitlin Clark left, we would follow her to another team. It's funny, you never hear that same thing thrown at Angel Reese fans, although clearly a lot of her fans are Angel Reese fans, not Chicago Sky fans, as made clear by this tweet. Please let this mean y'all are trading Angel Reese. See, again, Angel Reese fans, please free her from this. Barbie night. We go to games because of Angel. Ahem. Don't forget what happened the last game. Barbie night. Oh, that's the same one. They added it in there twice. Barbie night gone. Dear God, I hope this means what I think it does. Say again, on and on and on about being Angel Reese fans, not Chicago Sky fans. They don't support the Chicago Sky. They support Angel Reese. But here's where it really, really gets interesting. Chicago Sky sell picks to protect team from WNBA expansion draft. Yes, that is within the rules. What the Chicago Sky have done is they made a trade. They traded one of their picks to Portland. In exchange, Portland says, we won't select any of your players in the expansion draft. They traded another pick to Toronto. Same deal. Toronto giving them back saying, hey, we won't select any Chicago Sky players in the expansion draft. So the Chicago Sky got rid of 2 draft picks, and in return, they're not going to lose anybody in the expansion draft. Now, this could make sense, right? You could look at the draft and say, with the picks that they got, it's a weak draft. We're not going to get a better player in college than the players we have. Let me correct. It would have made sense if this was last year, or if this was next year, or if this was any year but this deeply strange CBA year where everybody but the players on rookie contracts, with the exception of 2 vets, are free agents. Let that sink in for a second. So, tell you what they gave up. The Sky sent the number 17 pick in the draft to the Fire. By the way, that's a second round pick, right? And the number 26 pick to the Tempo, second round pick. So again, if this was last year, I really wouldn't blink twice at it. I'd be like, okay, they've decided what's on their roster is of higher value than what they could get with those 2 picks. Makes perfect sense. And they still have picks. They have number 5. Because remember, 10 and 34 last year, folks. The Chicago Sky went 10 and 34. They have the number 5 pick. They still have number 21 pick. They still have the number 32 pick. And so they've got an agreement with Toronto now, an agreement with Portland that they will not lose any players in the draft. Here is the problem that I do have with that, which is why people are like, hey, what are we doing? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And that is simply this 2026 active roster. There are 4 players on the Chicago Sky who are under contract right now. By the way, this doesn't include Asia Sivka. I don't believe that she can be taken in the expansion draft, but I'm not entirely sure, right? Because they selected her last year, a player I really, really like, by the way, but she's very young. She's probably 20 now. She didn't, come over to the WNBA. I'm not sure. I'd have to do a deep dive into looks. I can't remember. I'm not sure how long Chicago Sky has the rights to her. You draft the player, they don't sign, you have the rights for a certain amount of time, then they would go back into being drafted. So I'm not sure if Asia Sivka could be taken. If she can, I will leave this caveat before I completely bash the Sky. To be fair, if Asia Sivka could be taken under these circumstances, then this makes a little more sense because I'm high on her. But the point I'm really making, and I don't think that is, I'm just trying to be fair and think of the possibilities as to why this guy would do this. Because again, they can protect 5 players. Only 4 are under contract. That means all the rest are free agents, which means all those players that they've given up draft picks for to say, hey, you can't take these in the expansion draft, they can all leave anyway without the Chicago Sky getting anything. Think about that for a second, right? So let's forget the what ifs and the caveats that I gave you. And on the face of it, they gave up 2 picks and potentially got nothing in return because the players they've protected from the expansion draft are still free agents and they could leave the Chicago Sky. This is an organization that needs some serious changes, top to bottom. I mean, whether that's, getting rid of the general manager in the front office, trading Angel Reese to be done with that and move on and reset and rebuild, I don't know. But on the surface, this makes absolutely no sense. I've never seen anything like this, that you basically gave away those picks for nothing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do me a favor, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps out tremendously. My goal is, before the season starts, so I'm going to go May. We've got a month to get to that 15,000 number. We need about 190 more subscribers to do it. And then I'll decide whether to take a long walk off a short pier or keep the channel going. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Go have the day you deserve. Shout out to the 19. I'll talk to y'all later.